I go thrifting all the time looking for hidden gems, but I have never found anything quite like this. While I was wandering through the endless aisles of Volo Antique Mall here in the Chicago suburbs, I stumbled upon the greatest booth I have ever seen. This booth had nothing but vintage 90s, 80s, probably even into the 70s, toys and electronics. There were things in there that I honestly forgot existed. At first I thought it looked relatively normal. You had Batman, Superman, you had Marvel characters, you had Disney characters, but then I found the glass cases. Inside these glass cases were nothing but an endless supply of vintage trading cards. And next to the trading cards that I absolutely expected, there were things like Ronald McDonald trading cards, Smokey Bear trading cards. There were even trading cards of the Backstreet Boys and Where's Waldo. And somehow there are trading cards with tabloid headlines from the Princess Diana royal family era. So with you today, I am going to open up some of the strangest trading card packs that I was able to find. And along the way, we are going to find out, long before Pokemon, why in the 90s, everything was a trading card. Just to be honest with you guys, I want to show you real quick. I bought all of these. Oops, I dropped some. And then I bought more today. We can do more of these videos. I'm going to open some of these on my shorts and post them there, but there's a lot of these. So tell me, is there one in here that you see? We've got Casper. I have a Fern Gully one in here too. Got Goldeneye. This is Silly CDs. I thought this was In Sync, but it's actually, it says In Stink. And I think they're supposed to be like parody cards of things. Got some Star Trek. Alf. There's actually a piece of gum in here and I don't know how old it is, but I will not be consuming it, but I've got Alf. Here's Smokey the Bear, some Little Mermaid ones, Happy Days, some Power Rangers, Hunger Games. So yeah, anyway, let me know if there's one in there that you saw that you really want to see opened, and I will do it either like in a short or I could do it in a video. So we'll see. Before game FAQs became a thing, you had maybe 2-3 ways to get your questions answered about how to beat a hard level in Nintendo games. You could buy Nintendo Power, you could call the Nintendo Game Counselor hotline, or you could ask a friend on the playground. There was a clear gap in this market, and Nintendo found the most interesting way to fill it. Created and distributed in 1989 by Topps, these game packs were Nintendo's way of distributing tips in a fun way. Each pack contains 3 scratch-off cards and 2 sticker/tip cards. A complete set includes 60 scratch-off game cards and 33 sticker/tip cards. The catch is that these covered multiple games. It covered Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2. It covered The Legend of Zelda and The Legend of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. It also included tips for games like Punch-Out and Double Dragon. So while you might have bought these looking for a tip on how to be better at Super Mario Bros., you had the same exact chance of getting a tip on how to beat Double Dragon. So without further ado, leave a comment for which game you would like to get a tip for, and let's see what we get. I don't currently have a good way to set up like a face down on my desk, so I'm gonna open them here with you. They are completely unopened, and we're gonna see what we get. Okay, you're seeing it before I am. Okay, what does that say? So on top we have top secret tips. Double Dragon. I'll put close-up pictures on screen of each of these cards so you can see them without the glare of the studio lights in here. But our first card is a Double Dragon. Secret tip. Mission 1, instead of fighting the third opponent, simply push him off the conveyor belt. And it says down here, collect all 33 tip cards. Oh, this is the Punch-Out sticker. You can see like the outline. So you must be able to peel that off. That's so cool. So that is an old Legend of Zelda sticker that you could peel off of here. Okay, so here we have a Zelda card. Sorry, Lizzie's in here. Our next card. Oh, interesting. Look at that. Look at the little dots on there. So this card looks like, so this is one of the game cards that tells you how to play. And again, I'll put it on screen because it's hard to see it in here, but it essentially gives you the directions on, I'm not sure, but it gives you directions. Next card we have in the pack looks like an Adventures of Link game card. And once again, it has some directions on the back, which I'll put on screen so you can see it more, but it's really interesting. These must be the scratch off portions. Next card that we have, it looks like a Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, it looks like. Let me try to get this in frame. There we go. And our final one What in the world is this? This looks like another Punch Out sticker card. Interesting. So these are the sticker cards that we got. We got a Legend of Zelda and whatever this is. And they have tips on the back for Double Dragon and Super Mario Brothers. And these are the 3 scratch off cards that we got. We got one for the Legend of Zelda, one for the Adventures of Link, and one for Super Mario Brothers 2. The funny thing is that these cards were probably the most practical ones on that shelf, because back in the late 80s, early 90s, like celebrity gossip and fun characters were marketing or gossip, but these existed because getting stuck at a big boss in Zelda was actually a problem. My absolute favorite Christmas commercials are the ones with the Coca-Cola bears. They get me every year with their like stupidly heartwarming short commercials. And apparently I am not the only one, because Coca-Cola started these commercials back in 1993. And by 1996, somebody decided that those bears needed their own trading card set. While Coca-Cola had already been making trading cards since 1994, those ones were primarily just their general Coke ads. This was their first venture into making these polar bears into some kind of trading card. And they decided to send them on a South Pole vacation. Distributed by Collect-A-Card, there's 8 cards per pack and a total of 50 cards to collect, with 6 potential chase cards. The chase cards are interesting because you'll recognize them because they have red foil and they're die cut or something like that. But for some reason, the chase cards in this set depict the Coca-Cola bear as the coach of a T-ball team, which has absolutely no relation to the South Pole vacation idea. So I'm kind of confused as like who decided that, but that's what it is. So hopefully we will get one of those. When they were creating these, they did decide to make them a bit different just from your average trading cards. These cards actually tell a story. They tell the story of the polar bears planning their travel, reading the news, traveling to the South Pole, and then having their vacation at Polar World. So without further ado, let's see what part of the vacation we are going to get. Once again, it is fully sealed. I'm opening it here with you for the first time. I think I have the back of it. So there's our first one. I'll put pictures up. It's kind of hard to see them in these lights. Sorry, guys. So it looks like our first one, they are probably already at Polar World. It says, the Coca-Cola polar bear wasn't sure the cubs would even get on the giant Polaris wheel. After all, such a ride can be a little frightening to anyone, especially to small cubs, but these 2 cubs are ready for anything. They're having so much fun, they can barely stand it. So maybe, okay, so maybe the concept was that the polar bear T-ball was going to Polar World? I'm a little confused, but maybe we'll be able to find some answers in here. Anyway, this is our first card. Second card looks like they are also, looks like maybe they're traveling to Polar World in this card. And it says, theme park veterans often use the time spent waiting in line to decide which rides are really worth the long wait. Standing in line with 2 restless polar bear cubs can get pretty tiring. Perhaps the Coca-Cola polar bear will feel more enthusiastic once the vendor serves him an ice-cold Coke. Interesting. So they have numbers on the back in the corner up here. This is 11. This one's 12. So I wonder if we're going to get 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Anyway, so that is 12. Let's just real quick check to see if this is 13. Looks like they're definitely at Polar World in this part. This is 13. So we must be getting, you must get like a run of numbers, not like a random set. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe that prevents you from getting too many duplicates. I'm not sure. But that's 13. I'll put pictures up on the screen. I won't read you everything. I'm assuming this is going to be 14. That is 14. This is 15. This is 16. 17. And it's a little stuck here. 18. So we did not get one of the chase cards. However, these are really cute. I'll put better pictures of them up on the screen, but this is a cute little fun idea that was fun to open. After these came out, Coca-Cola obviously kept the polar bears, but they decided to not make any more trading card sets because, as far as I can tell, and as much as the research that I've done, this is the only set of trading cards that were ever created and distributed for the Coca-Cola bears specifically. But the idea stuck around, and soon every popular character or mascot of the time needed their own set of trading cards. What if we made Ronald McDonald into a NASCAR driver? That is a question that I imagine was raised in a very expensive McDonald's headquarters boardroom in 1995. Because in 1996, the answer was an astounding Yeah, we should do that. Now, from the 1970s to the 1990s, McDonald's released all sorts of collectible cards, primarily through their Happy Meals, but they also had some cards that were distributed as educational items and a few promotional giveaways. By the 1990s, Ronald McDonald wasn't just a mascot anymore. He lived in McDonaldland and had his own cast of supporting characters like Grimace and the Hamburglar. By this time, he had even been a guest star in the critically acclaimed movie Mac and Me. He also was a character in some video games apparently by this point, but that's neither here nor there. At the same time, NASCAR was gaining popularity everywhere, and they were constantly looking for ways to increase their visibility. McDonald's had already partnered at this point with a NASCAR driver named Bill Elliott, so the next feasible step was to turn Ronald McDonald into a NASCAR driver himself. Which brings us to the McDonaldland 500. The McDonaldland 500 card set features Bill Elliott and follows a 50 card narrative, including a race plot, character arcs, and of course, Bill Elliott specific cards. It was like a comic book that they disguised as a trading card set, and then you had to collect them all to understand the story, and that's just the marketing gimmick. The chase cards for this pack are racing team cards, puzzle cards, stickers, and Bill Elliott racing tip cards. So let's see what we get. If I can get it open. Okay, McDonald's. There we go. What do we got? Oh, that's horrifying. Dear God. I'm not a big fan of Ronald McDonald. I gotta be honest with you guys. I hate clowns. I hate clowns so much. Just not really that big of a fan. Anyway, we'll take a look at the cards that we got and then kind of see how it relates to the whole story. Okay, so I'm gonna go through them kind of like I did with the polar bear cards. So there's our first one. Oh, that one's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Oh, this is backwards. Backwards. Okay, so that's our next one. Look at Grimace. Oh, there he is. Look at Grimace. I love Grimace. Next one. That one's kind of cool. I like the racing card ones. Ooh, what is this? What did we get here? I think this is one of the puzzle cards. I think the puzzle cards came together to make like a poster or something. Not like a full poster, but like a picture, I guess. I don't know. Cool. So we got one of the puzzle cards. That's cool. Looks like something's being fixed there. And we got this one and one more. This one's kind of nice. I like that one. And that's cool. I like that one the best, I think, with him coming over the finish line. So these also are numbered on the back. Let me take a look and see if we got like a consecutive amount or if they were random besides the puzzle card. Looks like they're all random. So we got numbers 8. This is number 8. This is 16. This is 24, 32. This one's 40, 43, and 47. Yeah, I think there were 50. Yeah, it's a 50 card narrative. So this one's like almost to the end. It's kind of cool. I actually like these. The art style on them is actually really satisfying for some reason. I like these. I like these a lot. That's really cool. I'm kind of curious what the entire puzzle will look like. I'll see if I can find, I'm sure there's a picture of it on the internet somewhere that I'll grab and put on here. But that's cool. It's cool that we got one of these. This is technically, I think, a chase card. So yay, we got one. So the McDonald cards make me wonder if mascots and non-real people were being made into trading cards, what was happening to celebrities? For this next pack, we are jumping to the future just a little bit because we need to take a closer look at these Backstreet Boy cards. By 2000, the Backstreet Boys had just come off of their 1999 Millennium Tour, and they already had all kinds of merchandise available for their fans. But this was a time before Pinterest, before Twitter, before Facebook and Instagram. So the only way to get high quality photos of your idols was basically like magazines and posters, because a camera you brought to a show in 2000 or 1999 was not taking some high quality photos. It just wasn't. And so the Backstreet Boys merchandising team decided to fill another gap that they saw in the market with these. Produced and distributed by a company called Winterland, the Backstreet Boys Millennium On Tour Photo Pack was born. These packs include 6 oversized photos with 72 total to collect. I don't believe there are any chase cards in these packs. The whole idea was to collect all 72 because you were a big fan and you really loved them and probably had a crush on one of them. I think the way that they were marketing it was like the same way that boys would collect like baseball cards of their favorite players, that they wanted like young girls to collect cards of their favorite Backstreet Boy members. Now, I must admit, I was more of an NSYNC girly at the time, but I think from the Backstreet Boys, AJ was the one that I liked the most, or like thought was the cutest. So hopefully we get one of him in here. And no, I do not remember all of their names. I am sorry. Let's get to opening. This is a sealed set, so let's go ahead and see who we're gonna get. Oops, I ripped it. I'm gonna take these out one at a time so we don't spoil it. Okay, first one. Ooh, oh, I showed you the back. You can't see, it says 52 on here, but here is the first photo that we got. It's hard because these are like actual photos, so it's hard because of the glare. But look at that. I'll see if I can get it. No, I'll just put a picture up on the screen for you so you can see it a bit closer. So we got one with, it looks like everybody on stage. Looks like they were signing something. So that's kind of cool that it's like a candid photo and not necessarily staged. Next one, this is 53. Okay, so I wonder if we're gonna get like consecutive numbers for these two. It seems like a lot of cards at the time were doing that, where they gave you like consecutive numbers of things. But this is the next one. These kind of look like backstage or candid photos from the way that they're standing and like not all looking at the camera. So I wonder if these are like some candid, never before seen backstage photo kind of things. All right, next photo. I'm assuming is going to be 54, but we will see. No, it's number 3. Okay, so the first two were just kind of a fluke then. This is number 3. This is definitely a backstage kind of behind the scenes photo. So that's cool. They're not, I will say, they are not like extremely high quality. They're pretty like bendy. They're literally like 5x7 photos that you could print at Walmart. But these are really cool. All right, let's see. We've got 3 more. 3 more. Next one is going to be number 2. Ooh, oh. Who is this?
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Can you comment below which one this is? I'm so sorry. I don't know. I know AJ and Nick Carter. I don't remember his name, but it looks like we got a candid photo of him. Who is this? Tell me if you know who that is. Next, what do we have next? 48. 48, another candid. Oh, the black and blue. I have the CD. Actually, I have the black and blue CD. I have a lot of Backstreet Boys CDs, but that's beside the point. This is number 48. Looks like they're sitting on stage, maybe doing a Q&A. And our last one, number 71. And it looks like, yeah, that's cool. Looks like they're signing things. This is cool. I feel like as a fan, this would be such a cool thing to have and to try to collect all of them. Seems like kind of candid backstage moments that maybe you wouldn't necessarily be able to take a picture of, and who knows if they would end up in a magazine. So that is very cool. So those cards came out in 2000. However, by that time, collecting cards about celebrity and celebrity gossip was not actually a new concept. Because the deck that started my idea for this entire video is some of the strangest things I have ever seen in a trading card, especially considering the time that they were created and distributed. By December of 1992, Charles and Diana had officially announced their separation. At this point, both of their private phone calls were slowly becoming public and creating scandal all over the place. In 1993, a company called Press Pass, who up until this point primarily did baseball cards, decided for some godforsaken reason that they needed to put the royal family tabloids onto collectible trading cards. I'm assuming they wanted to just capitalize on something and make money. However, this would be like putting out trading cards during the Katy Perry Orlando Bloom divorce, like as it was happening. It feels icky, and to be honest, it is, but people were so invested in the royal family at that time, and specifically Charles and Diana, that these were something that people actually wanted, I guess. Press Pass turned the royal family into 111 collectible cards, and they even titled it Volume 1, which makes me think that they were planning on having more of these. I tried to find sales numbers on these to see how well they actually did, but I could not find anything anywhere. However, what I did find is that you can pretty easily find these packs of cards online, and even the booth in Volo that I went to, there were a lot of these available. I only took one of them, but, well, I paid for it, I didn't take it. But there were a lot of them there. I can only assume there was enough interest in the royal family to create these cards, but not enough interest to have them all purchased. It still kind of stuns me that somebody looked at what was going on in 1993 and decided, what does that need? foil packs. That's what that needs. So without further ado, let's open these up and see what scandals we get. I don't think there were chase cards in here. That would have made this even weirder because like what would be the chase card? What would be a chase card? Anyway, let's open this sealed pack up and see which tabloids we get. All right, let's see here. Maybe you're getting some ASMR from these openings. Hopefully. Okay. I don't want to see. Okay, you're going to see the front before me. Okay. Oh, interesting. I actually didn't expect it to be Lizzie. I actually didn't expect it to be like photos with just like small headlines. I don't know why I expected it to be like a full tabloid written on here. It looks like it's just the headline. And there are 9 cards per pack. Okay. So this first one we have, oh, it's okay. The rest of the tabloid looks like it's on the back, but the front is here. So I'm going to show you the fronts, and then if there's like a specific one that we want to look at, we can look at. I'll put them up on the screen as we go through them as well. So this is the first one we got. Popularity makes princess perfect. The next one, what is this? Just like a character card? Oh, this is just the character card for Prince Philip. Oh, don't look at the next one. This is just a character card for Prince Philip. Who is this? Oh, that's Diana and William the Conqueror? What does that even mean? Next one looks like a character card of Diana of the Sorrows. Interesting. This just feels so icky. So these came out 4 years before Princess Diana passed away. So at least they weren't like posthumous, but still, it just feels icky. So anyway, here's Princess of the Sorrows, apparently. It looks like we have Charles and Diana. Next one we got, nope, wrong way. My Prince, My Love. Oh, this was at their wedding, I think. Or is this, oh, this is Prince Andrew. So Prince Andrew. What do we have here? The royal losses? Oh, they're kids. These are so icky. Anyway, royal losses. What's this one? Fergie fails the royal test. Okay. And a character card for Sarah Fergie Ferguson. So yeah, these are kind of icky. I don't know how I feel about these, but they are what they are. They're an interesting snapshot of history to take a look at. However, they feel icky. They feel icky. So they feel icky. Okay, well, when I picked these up, I thought that I was picking up just kind of random packs full of random trading cards. But after opening them, I feel like everything tells kind of a bigger story. The Nintendo cards existed because kids needed help beating games. The Coca-Cola cards turned the bears into like a mascot and gave them a story and some depth. The McDonald Land cards brought together 2 franchises into a storyline with collectible pieces. The Backstreet Boys cards sold backstage access to celebrities before that kind of thing really existed. And the royal family cards took it one step further. They weren't selling a movie or a game or a mascot or a character. They were selling like attention. And that's kind of what surprised me the most about all of this. By the 1990s, trading cards were not just about sports anymore. They became a way to package whatever was popular at that moment. Video games, fast food mascots, celebrities, boy bands, the royal family. If enough people were talking about something, somebody would take it and print it on cardboard and distribute it in mystery foil packs. And that is exactly why I love thrifting and why I find thrift stores so fascinating. They're not really just trading cards. Every one of these represents a moment in history. And now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to the antique mall and see what I missed. Bye!